Hi everyone, welcome to my craft room. So I'm going to give you a little craft room tour. This is a realistic craft room tour. This is actually after 12 hours of cleaning and sorting. You wouldn't be able to tell. It's absolute chaos. For those of you who don't know, I'm a whatnot craft supply seller as well. And I've been doing that a little bit more than I have been doing. So I've been buying up some stock. So all of those boxes there, all of the boxes on the bed are whatnot stock. So what we're going to do is go over here and focus on my actual craft area, which is a lot more tidy and a lot more usable. So the first thing you'll probably notice is this big dream box. It's one of those big fold-away units, and I got a really good deal on it about just over a year ago. And it's my main working station. So you can see I've got two desks. The one with the blue chair, which is the one that I do most of my work on and most of my filming on, and the one you're probably used to seeing. It's where I do a lot of my whatnot streams as well. So that's my main practical work area. We'll have a look at some more detail in that in a minute. Then we have this secondary desk unit. So this was my original desk. It's an old 1950s kitchen larder cabinet, and my sister found it on Facebook and my dad painted it for me. So this was my original craft desk. As you can see, it's now got my sewing machine, sticker towers, the little blue twisty thing is sticker ephemera, and tickets and things like that on there. And underneath it has sets of drawers which have my rechargeable lights on my little desk, but have jewellery making supplies and things like that in, things I don't use that often. And then as you move up, I've got my blending brushes, I've got all my tools, my library of books, basically old vintage books, because I like working with vintage books. And then on the top, the majority of my inks that aren't the ones I go to on a daily basis, and some mixed media bits, not organised but labelled so I can grab them easily. Some bigger books that don't fit in the bookshelf. And then my secondary bookshelf, which again you can see is full of vintage books, some packing stuff in the middle, some more books, some more books, some more books, and Anna kit. And yeah, so my room is not pretty, but I know what everything is, so that's always good. Then we'll move over to this secret area here. I say secret because I actually use it quite a lot, considering I have to move the unit to get to it. Here we go. This is my paper pantry, to quote Miss Kristen Swain. This is where I keep the majority of my plain papers, so my glitter, my whites, my black, my craft, all of that all live in these marked boxes, which I think is a really good way of doing it. This is an old IKEA unit, and it's got two parts. So this is all my paper. In here is all the things I don't need as often. So there are bigger machines in there. My cinch machine is in there. I can't remember what else is in there. Loads of stuff's in there. Up here are some other big styes that I don't use as much, but I can just pull open the drawer and get access. And then this one, which I've got access to all the time, don't judge me, needs sorting, but is my stamp storage. They are sort of bagged by theme, travel, cats, etc, etc. But as you can see, cats are not in the cat stamp part, and it's not organised, and I really need to come up with a better solution. This room is my spare bedroom as well as my craft room, so it has to be multi-purpose space, and it does fold away quite well to accommodate a lot of those things. I don't know if you noticed, on the back of here are hanging all my Brother, Scanning Cat and my cricket mats. There we go. If anyone has logged into any of my whatnot shows, you'll probably notice this. This is the background to the start of most of my shows. It's just a general area with ribbons and rickrack and tape and all sorts on there. Things that I grab on a regular basis, including then some sort of happy mail and things that you guys have sent me. Then as we move across the actual desk itself, you'll notice this is just junk journal stuff. So this is bits that I've kept to put into a junk journal. This is all in crate. I need to label them. Some of them I have, some of them I haven't, but I've been sorting them around. Transfers, rub-on transfers, that is labelled. Tools, I need to label that. And then this part It's what I go to regularly. It's all of my scissors. Then all of my go-to tools. So my pokey tools, my bone folders. There we go. Let's rotate you around. Let's move you out of the way. So this is my journaling kit. So it's got, if I'm making journal covers, it's got all the tools I need. There we go. Pokey tools. Little mini inks. Angles. Alcohol ink daubers. Craft knives, acrylic blocks, all the sort of essential go-to and grab things are on this unit somewhere. There you go, my Versafine Onyx and my embossing, Versafine Claire as well, and my junk journal kit. So that's those. Then down here are all my little notebooks for doing all my traveller journals and all my sort of stripy paper, lined paper, if I'm doing that. Here, again, this is like we shove stuff in gaps in my craft room, okay? Don't judge. This is all of the junk that I've been working on recently and hasn't found a home. So some masterboards, some scraps. It's actually called Scraps and Backgrounds Bin, and this really needs to go and live inside it, not on top of it. Am I going to do that right now? Of course I'm not. So that's that side. Then we'll move you over to here to these drawers. They are organised, but they're not organised. So on this side is practical things. Tapes, adhesives, glue, more tape and adhesive, metal hardware. This is quite cool. This is all my like bookbinding, sort of corners and book plates and stuff. And now I'm not going to get back in. Of course not. No, there's something stuck underneath. Of course there is. Let's see what it is. There we go. So it's all compartmentalised, that's a posh word, but you get the vibe. Let's see what's stopping this. This is what happens when you have too much stuff and you shove it in. It's these micro dots that are stopping it, I believe. Make sure there's nothing else stuck. Whoa. So yes, my system isn't the best. Yes, I should organise it more, but life's too short. I prefer to be crafting than sorting. There you go, so they should go back in now. They're not fully in, I don't know what else is stuck, but they can wait. My tri-blade markers, so these are my go-to pens of choice colouring. Obviously there is some foam tape in my tri-blade markers, because it identifies as some foam markers. Alcohol inks, general pens, Sharpies, pens, pencils, some more metal hardware stuff. I knew this would happen if I started pulling things out. And then my blending stuff and some more tools. Then we come across. And these are just random. I say random. This is full of Tim Holtz. This is full of blanks. So whether it be playing cards, journaling cards, ATC cards, tags, notebook, like note cards, all of that go in here. This is ephemera that I printed. Pages I want to use, but they've just not made it to a project yet. Heat vinyl, normal vinyl. And then right at the top here, I've got my paper cutter, my fabric cutter. And behind that, I don't know if you can see it, is my Crocodile, my big hole maker and eyelet setter. Then we come across, box of sentiments, box of general stickers, so stick on dots, stick on gems, flat backs, all of them live in there. More random paper. Big dies. I will label all these, I really need to, that's my next mission. Then while we're here, we'll move across. My switch, which is on wheels, so I can pull it out. I can move this out of the way and pull it out to use it, which is quite useful. On top are some A4 embossing folders and the plates for the switch. And above it is a thing of punches. I do have some more punches, which are here, and these are the ones I go to more often. So these are my corner rounders, my circles, my tag punches. The other ones are my decorative punches. And while we're settled here, I might as well show you the rest of this. Tags. I keep a little pot of tags already made up, so I can just grab them. The next two are my air dry clay embellishments, some chipboard, and then my book binding stuff. And then as you can see, this stuff shoved on top. That brown thing's an old letterpress. And the grey is some stamping foam. And then right on the end there, in that little thing, is some more punches. Just up, if you ignore the rainbow, my go-to dies. These are ones I use regularly, and they'll swap out depending on the project. If they're not here, they're up above the other cabinet, but you've got your handles, your ends, spare ends, all in one place. Wooden stamps. I don't keep many wooden stamps. I like to unmount them and keep them in my stamp cupboard. They're the ones I've kept as wooden stamps. Decorative stapler and all the accessories. And then in that last box is all the dye I use to do my lace and my paper with. Then here, if I remember top to bottom, top is shaker stuff that is marked. So that is all of our shaker card kits, our shaker card inclusions. Next one down is paper. So that'd be paper bags, paper notebooks, paper, mixed paper, paper stickers and things like that. Then the next one down is mixed media. So it's photo paper, it's watercolour paper, it's Yappo, it's all that in that one. The next one down, this is where I forget what this is, stencils. This is full of stencils, my mixed media mat. This is full of embossing folders that aren't A4. And that's those. Then we've moved down to my desk. I love this. This is my glue caddy. It's got all sorts of glues on it. It's also got some alcohol ink, some water spray. Anything I need to sort of grab and use on a regular basis. What I like is I can just pick it up and move it. So I want to use my switch, I just pull it out of the way. But I like the fact it's also on this rotary. It's like a lazy Susan. Then as we move across, my laptop, especially when I'm using Cricut, I like to hold it up there so I've got more space to work with. So there's my laptop. I do pull it down onto the desk to work on it as well, but it's nice if I'm watching telly or something that's up there as well. I'll move across here to the end of the table. This is a box of things I have made but have no home. So whether that be altered paper clips, postcards, note cards, anything. If it's not an album, it will go in there until I find a use for it. There's some tape, some bin bags and a sponge. They don't normally leave there. I've been cleaning. This here is my main photo thing. So when I've my own camera stand. So two cameras, and when I'm filming on, and then my own camera. And this is sort of a typical setup for a What Not show or a YouTube filming. So that's that. Then we've got this trolley. This trolley here is my scraps. So I like to keep my paper scraps, and I sell paper scrap bundles over on my What Not shows. So if you want to build up your stash with loads of little bits, that's what they are. What else we got? A roller, obviously. Just some random embellishments and things. There's some, you see there, little embellishments that I've made that will eventually go into projects. Move down to this drawer. This is like the drawer of containers. So this has got all my eyelets in it, all of my brads in it, all of my little tiny pieces of buttons, ephemera, leaves, bows, all of that in this one. And then this one is the Mod Podge drawer of love. So this is my Mod Podge jewellery making stuff. And then, if it wants to open all the Mod Podge in the world and some tape and some glues, you probably should live up there. There we go. Yeah, so a lot of Mod Podge. A random thing of foil because I was foiling with Mod Podge last time I was doing it. There we go. And that lives on there. I mean, nothing fits nicely, but it's in there and I know where it is. The next trolley I've got here is my tool trolley. Just everything I use sort of on a regular basis again. So we've got my paper trimmer tucked in here, my fabric cutting board, my emboss. This is the paper that I'm currently using for a project. My what's it called? Scoreboards, paper cutters, decal trimmers, measuring tapes, all of it. In here is my jelly printing kit, fabric that I will do a review on in another video for you. 3D embossing folders. The only reason that they're there is that they don't fit in there. And I haven't come to a conclusion of how to put them together yet, but I will. And then you've got my watercolour paints, my watercolour, basically anything colouring that isn't pens. And then here is a magazine rack full of old vintage books and newspapers and magazines I used to junk journal with. Then underneath, so under here is things that I don't access as often, but I like to know where they are. Right at the bottom, just realise you're on a wonky, there we go. Right at the bottom we've got our card bases, then we've got our chipboard and mount board, and above that we've got, I don't know what's in there, stamping foams, basically add-ons. So if I've got stuff on my desk and that's like a box of spares. Then right at the top is a box of completed projects, so cards and things like that I've completed and don't have any home. Across here, these are really long boxes, so they're the same as these. So it's mount board, middle one is wallpaper samples, and the bottom one is vinyl and things. So if it's bigger than A3, it lives in those boxes. Then down here, there's one box full of fabric, and next another box full of fabric, and next door to that is a box full of all the additional tools that I can't fit out. Then we have this rack of 3. These you may have seen on my shows before. They're just all my ephemera holders. They're little photo holding boxes. They also need labelling. They will one day. And then that orange tonic dies doesn't normally live there. It lives on my other dies, but I've just been using it. Talking of other dies, hang on, we'll just do this last little bit here. More paper. So 12x12 paper packs, patterns, paper, smaller paper pads. So 6x6s, 8x8s, they also live there. And it's accessible because I can just pull the box out, get what I want from it, and push the box back in. And then my beast of a guillotine I use basically for doing chipboard with, and that's it. So back to dies. Dies and die cutting have their own little section. So here is my stamp area. Not stamps, I completely lied to you. Dies in 12x12. So as you can see, my Big Shot is on the top. My Big Shot is my original, and I love my Big Shot. I don't know if anyone spotted my little sidekick on my desk, but I've got one of them over there as well. And here are all the dies. They are not organised as well as they look. So here you have flowers. There are flowers on here. But then underneath you have sets that have not been sorted yet. So it's a mix of both, really need sorting. I will get round to it one day. Then all the way down, all the different sort of themes. As you can see, there's loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of dies. And then in here, and in the tonic one we've just seen, are all of my basics. So majority of my nesting die sets, my bigger nesting die sets. And a lot of my journaling dies, so a lot of the bigger construction die sets live in them as well. Then next to that is this monstrosity of unsorted 12x12 paper. I need to sort it. I need to put it in categories because I like to sort my 12x12 mainly by manufacturer, designer. So I've got my Graphic 45 shelf, I've got my Stamperia shelf, I've got a Tim Holtz shelf, a Crafter's Companion, a Crafter's Consortium. So I know sort of where to go. Obviously I bought way too much 12x12 and it won't all fit. That's why the plain one is here. And the plain white stuff is here. But we're all human, right? And you can never have enough paper. If you can spot above here, this is where I keep all my spare plates on my Big Shot. So this will all get sorted and get placed into here correctly. Then the back of my door is my vinyl storage. So I've got my heat transfer, my normal vinyl, all sorts on there. Transfer tape, you name it. If it's in rolls, it's on the back of my door. Again, really organised, as you can tell. But it's there when I know where it is if I want to go and grab it. Yes, I've got some peroxide. Use it quite often. I've got peroxide. This is random things in my craft room. Peroxide. Salt. Alcohol. 3 things are actually very useful in my craft room. Obviously my glasses storage. Then we come around here. And then last but not least, it looks absolutely chaotic. Oh, actually, I haven't shown you in my cupboards. So this is my junk journal cupboard. Not junk journal, mixed media cupboard. And the moment we can't get into it, but this is all on wheels. So if I want to, I just pull the whole thing out and I can get in there, and I'll do a separate video of that if everyone wants to see what's inside it. This black unit here is my junk journaling kit trolley. So what I do is make junk journal kits to themes, and this is where I put my printables, all my chipboard bases, everything I could possibly need. There's some fabric covers pre-cut there to get together and put together the junk journals. Then, I don't know if you can spot, she needs to be sorted and put into here. That's why she's sat on top. I might just move her quickly. Ugh. She's heavier than I thought. She's full of ephemera and pieces to go into a junk journal. I'm very good at putting things on top. So this is fusible foil. This needs to go into here, and it will when I pull all this out. My new Brother scanning cut, so I move that to my desk because I want to use it. And then, let me step back and show you. This is my general postage / packing area. So I print a lot of printables. I'm a printable girly. Firstly, that's my heat press. I'm doing heat press vinyl. And the little white boxes full of t-shirts. We'll start from the top. That's all my spares. So my spare small bags, my spare packaging tape, all the spares you could possibly want. The next one down here is all of my different types of paper. My rice paper printable, acetate printable, anything I need printable to print things specifically for junk journals. Next one down with that little orange thing. This is my label printer. Obviously you need to do that when you're doing Whatnot. Lots and lots of labels. The next one down is also a Whatnot thing. So this is all full of postage bags. And then this is clear bags, freebies, and tape. And then down here is spare postage bags and big body bags, so ones that will fit a body, huge things. And of course my printers. So the top one is my general printer, and I love it. Me and the printer don't get on, so we have, if you spot the wire, hardwired her to my laptop. But that's just a me thing. And the bottom one is a sublimation printer that I'm in an iron whether to get rid of because I don't really use it. And then obviously, like I've mentioned before, the rest of this is all Whatnot's for sale stock. There is lots and lots and lots of it. If you want to follow me over on Whatnot, my username is the same as is here. It's I am so Charlie, and I'll put a link in the bottom. So this is my craft space. Have you got your craft space ordered? Do you know where everything is? Or is it as chaos as mine? I'll just show you on top quickly. They're my completed albums, and some other bits. So it's not neat, it's not tidy, it's not away, but I know where everything is and I'm happy with it. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you all soon. Bye!